Have you recently been self-reflecting, looking in the mirror back at the good-looking person thinking, man, it sucks having a free ride, a scholarship to MIT in Chicago, as a struggling super genius, being oppressed by the billionaires out there because they don't see the true greatness I have in store? I think we all kind of feel that way and can relate to Riri, who's the main character of a new show called Ironheart on Disney+. Ironheart. No, I was right the first time. This is the newest series that takes place in the dried up husk of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And Disney has graciously released the first 3 episodes for our amusement, and I have to tell you, I planned on watching all 3 and giving you a review, but I could not make it past 1.5 episodes, and that was after sheer determination and willpower. I eventually wised up and fast forward a bit of the second episode so I could finally get to the first action scene. It didn't live up to the hype. But based on what I saw, I can at least draw a clear picture of what you should expect from this show. Let's talk about Ironheart. Before I do though, if you find yourself absolutely captivated by my material, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the show, Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. You can even hit the notification bell so future videos show up for me in the feed on YouTube. I would appreciate it. All right, you know what I don't appreciate? Marvel ramming down these half-assed entries just to pad out the roster for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Between WandaVision, Loki, Hawkeye, Captain America, and Bucky, or whatever that thing was called, Echo, the Secret Wars show, whatever that thing was with Agent Fury. There was like a bunch of other ones. Moon Knight, Miss Marvel. This one is the worst. And obviously, I'm not talking about the overall series. It's not done. We only have 3 episodes. But just out of the gates, this is easily the worst. And I think it's because it's starting out with such a bizarre premise. We are following after the events of Wakanda Forever, the second Black Panther movie, which I thought was terrible. I really enjoyed the first Black Panther. The second one felt completely rudderless, and it had some really bizarre choices in that. The main one was forcing on the story this Ironheart character. Riri, who's in college during that film, secretly building this amazing Iron Man suit using Tony Stark tech and some of her own ingenuity, helps beat off a bunch of seamen with the Wakandans. That came out exactly how I wanted it to. So to go from that, where she's hanging out in Wakanda, learning their tech, learning about their ways of life, to then jump into this TV series where she's back in Chicago at MIT, putzing around, breaking shit, putting one of the professors in a cast, and then eventually getting kicked out of the school, it's a little odd that the entire premise of the show right now revolves around her building her very own awesome Iron Man-esque suit so that she can say she built the best one, and then people will take notice of her, and then she can get the billions of dollars required to make a difference. Odd premise. What's more Doctor Strange about all of this is, again, she was just in Wakanda, a place of vast resources, endless wealth, and black power as far as the eyes can see. So they would absolutely take her under their wing, especially after she helped save the day. But that's all completely forgotten when this show fires up. Maybe they will address it down the road, and I guess that's fair, but this does not start things off on a very solid note, and a very lackluster one. There's nothing compelling about this character wanting to rebuild a suit, and the way she goes about doing this is even more egregious. Instead of going to the Wakandans, the Wakandanites, the Wakodians, I'm not sure how you say it, instead of talking to them, and saying, hey, remember me, I'm back, would love to work alongside you guys, build some tech, make a difference in the world. She's just gonna team up with a bunch of sleazebags, steal a bunch of money, and buy a bunch of old parts on the black market. I'm not sure that's the greatest way to go about it. The motivation for all of this is a dead stepdad and a best friend. We get this through flashbacks. They were working in the garage one night, a couple stray bullets went by, bingo, bango, bongo, penis, they're dead. So she is driven, she is motivated to make a suit once more so she can help protect the community. I honestly, I don't know. She wants to build an army of suits, kind of like Tony envisioned back in the day, you know, before the whole Ultron thing happened and the suits were used against them. It's messy. It's messy. Maybe she could find a better way to use that super intellect. But no, Iron Man's suit, that just makes sense. What doesn't make as much sense is the fact that she builds this entire thing in a night. Not even Tony Stark could do that. He spent months building this thing in a cave with scraps. She has one night to not only build a basic suit, she's building a full-blown AI on top of it, all within a night. And not just any old ragamuffin AI. Oh, no. This thing is state-of-the-art. This AI, codenamed Natalie, has a mind of its own. Next thing you know, her dead friend manifests itself in the real world. She's looking right at her. Now, she's not technically a digital ghost because the suit is projecting her. Although one thing the show has working against it is I have real eyes, and I can see that that's just an actress walking around in the room. It's not a hologram, it's just an actress walking around. And this AI is super smart and super annoying. It's constantly gonna pop in left and right, going to the computer, going to the suit, really bothering Riri. Now, as for Riri herself, I have no issues with the character. She's just bland across the board. Really nothing to her that's exciting or elevating the material. She's just present. Now, even though she is a bit bland as a character, she is what we in the industry call a strong female lead. And for the Marvel Cinematic Universe TV series, quite frankly, it's about time. How refreshing to get a lame-ass character that's really smart and good at a bunch of different things. Never thought I would see the day. But don't worry, she has an entire team of one-dimensional checkboxes that you can enjoy. The brains behind the operation that she teams up with, I don't know his name, I'm gonna call him Clokey. He has a really dumb leather cloak that he puts on and it makes him disappear. Kinda has a ghost ability when he's got the cloak on. I think the cloak is how he disappears, like it's a Harry Potter thing or something. I'm not sure. I don't care. He's got a bunch of tattoos or scales on his body too. I'm gonna be honest, at some point I started to fall asleep during the first episode. I woke up and I just kind of kept going from there. Because the pacing of this show is the equivalent of your friend trying to open up a bag of Doritos but not being able to do it. So he's just constantly trying all the corners, trying to pop the middle, maybe do the whole bag, until you eventually step in and say, Jesus Christ, and just rip the side of the thing open. But unfortunately for the show, that bag never rips. But back to the one-dimensional characters. We have Clokey, we have gay computer hacker person. I actually don't know if the person's gay or just kind of like a queen. Got the long nails, got the green hair, the eyeshadow. Hello, I'm coming out. Just want the world to know. So if you're looking for a show with that diversity you so crave, this is the one for you. Ironheart's the one for you. I myself, as a lame middle-aged white dude, champion all sorts of diversity, all sorts of walks of life in shows, as long as they're well written, as long as the characters are interesting and don't feel like they're characters there just to check off a box. That's exactly how they feel in Ironheart. That's exactly how they feel. An example of doing it correctly for me was Squid Game Season 2. You have a lot of different representation there. You even have a trans character. I thought that was handled far better. They were great characters to watch. Even though Squid Game Season 2 does not need to exist, it was clearly made because the director's cashing in. He said it himself. I still found it enjoyable enough to continue on with it, and Season 3 is right around the corner, so I'm excited for that. Ironheart's just an absolute waste of time. And Disney pumped a lot of money into this thing, so how does it look? Well, it looks fine. I mean, it doesn't really have much of an identity. It's shot well, though. There's good lighting. It's just very stale, which is the same with the script. The music is a higher point. You do have a kind of generic theme song that's used a little too much in the first episode, but then we have some good rap music. We got some R&B. We have Alanis Morissette randomly thrown in. I celebrate Alanis Morissette's entire catalog because, of course, you know, white guy. Outside of that, though, this is just an absolute waste of time. It is not compelling. The narrative makes very little sense. None of these characters are very likable. The monologues are boring and ham-fisted. I just have no reason to recommend this show to really anyone at all. But that can kind of be said for pretty much all of the Disney Plus shows. There's a few random exceptions, but overall, yeah, I wouldn't waste your time with this. I'd love to hear from you, though. Did you waste your time watching this show? Maybe you're digging it so far. Leave a comment below. Again, I would appreciate a sub at Adam Does Movies on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Those are the best ways to find me. And hopefully, I see you next time. Take care.